Hello world, welcome to a new episode of Working Musicians. My name is John Thiessen and I'm the president of El CAMINO School of Music Repair and Technology, and today I'm joined by Orlando's favorite drummer, Kevin Greene. Kevin, how are you?
Doing excellent, John.
Thank you for being here with us, brother.
Thank you for having me, man. Real excited to be here.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
So Kevin, for those unfamiliar with your work, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about Kevin Greene and the plethora of projects that you're involved in?
So, and a lot of stuff, but drummer extraordinaire is the easiest starting point.
Okay.
Drum kit, hand percussions, auxiliary percussions, basically anything you can hit with the drumstick and or your hand and make sound out of it. I prefer to play and love to play.
And how many bands are you in right now?
5 original bands,
okay.
And then I float drum for 2 other bands as well, so 7 total.
And how many shows do you think you played last year as a working musician?
Last year, about 280 shows.
280? Mm-hmm. Wow, and how many shows have you played since the COVID-19 outbreak?
Woo, since the lockdown, it's a big old goose egg, my friend.
Yeah. Now, how do you feel that that's affecting your bottom line?
So definitely hurting me, but I just pivoted. I'm not fortunate, but luckily I'm in a few different things right now. You know, I manage a juice bar, I worked at a music store, I'm in 5 different bands, I taught music lessons, so had my hands in a few baskets, and luckily some of those baskets are still providing me with income.
So when did you first start playing music, Kevin?
13 years old, middle school.
Take us through that story. So what inspired you to become the Kevin Greene we sit with today?
Funny enough, Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Okay.
Watched that, Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, you know, them as a trio playing music. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and the coolest out of the 3 was the one on the back playing the drums.
Which one was the drummer?
The one in the green shirt, and I want to say it was Theodore.
Theodore, okay.
I think.
Yeah.
And so wanted to be just like Theodore. Got a drum set finally for Christmas when I was 13 years old in middle school. Been self-taught playing ever since then.
When did you first start playing professionally?
At 16 years old.
Okay, first band, first gigging, paid gig.
Paid gig downtown Orlando with 50 Foot Ordnance. It was my ska reggae band in high school.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And some of those members are in Oklahoma Stackhouse.
Today,
yes.
Okay. As we said now with COVID-19, you know, these are the quarantine confessions of the Working Musician series that we're doing.
Right.
You know, how have you been adapting to this new scenario where, you know, playing live shows is kind of a thing of the past? In what ways have you adapted as a musician to this new paradigm?
So I've actually been doing other things. I've been gardening a lot more. I have blisters on my hands from holding a rake and not holding a drumstick. So just kind of going with the flow and still enjoying life as much as I can.
In what ways are you still trying to reach are you still trying to reach your audience right now? Or are you pretty much just on hiatus? You know, what ideas do you think that, you know, are ways to connect with an audience as a working musician in times like this?
Right, the live streaming is the way everyone's going right now, and it still gives you that interaction of even just going to a show and watching your favorite musician play. Me personally, I've kind of been on hibernation mode, just enjoying the time off, letting the creativity flow back into my life. Being in so many different groups and so many different projects, kind of ran myself dry a little bit last year. So definitely enjoying the time off that I have now.
And as much as it's great to take on hobbies and things, I mean, with that many bands and that many paid gigs, you know, how is that affecting financially, you know, Kevin Greene?
Definitely hurts, but worked my butt off last year, so I saved up enough to have a little squirrel fund that I've been kind of feeding myself off of.
How do you think something like the quarantine, the lockdown, is positively or negatively affecting the music scene?
Oof. So of course negatively affecting the music scene, just at this current moment, because there's no income, there's no flow with it right now. People want to go out and see live music, but they can't. Positive of this is it's going to be hitting hard when we finally do get back into it, when we're able to go back out and see our favorite band again. I feel like people aren't going to underappreciate it like they used to and take it for granted.
Do you think that with a format like, as you mentioned, live streaming, do you think that that is filling the void? You know, I know that it's filling the void of our time, but do actually connect with an audience in the ways that you do. Do you feel like some of that is missed through a live stream format?
100%, man. You definitely, it's not the same. It's cute to be able to eat your dinner and watch your favorite band from your iPhone whenever you want to, you know, in the comfort of your own home and in your underwear. But there's something about going to a live show and performing and making your audience feel your performance and having them not have a life-changing moment then, but walk away.
Hopefully.
Right, hopefully, but walk away from at least that night with a great memory and a great feeling.
And so what's your favorite thing about performing to a live audience?
Ooh, making them dance. Being a drummer, I feel like if your audience is dancing, you're doing your job right.
I noticed you have your shirt on today. That's not as typical. Is that, would you dressed up just for us here?
Right,
at the show?
I felt like I should keep it professional for you guys in the school, and I talked to my stylist before, and she told me to wear the tie-dye shirt. I was going to go shirtless and the blazer, but I got talked out of it.
Well, this is an all-ages show, so we want to make sure that we're not, scarring the young
Right.
minds out there. Kevin, you mentioned that you're at least in 5 bands, 5 original acts. How is it different for you performing? Because they're all in different genres as well. How is that for you to adapt to different styles, especially when one night you're doing one thing, and maybe even earlier that afternoon you're playing in one band, and later in the afternoon you're playing in another band? How is adapting to their different styles? Is that a problem for you, or how is it overall?
So luckily they're all different enough that I can put my mindset into each one of those bands. I like you said, I'll play 2 or 3 shows in one day, and I'll just bring a change of shirt for each one of the bands. I got outfits for Jordan Foley, I got outfits for Red Raquel, I got my Trop Rock shirts for Oklahoma Stackhouse. So it's about getting into that mindset, and luckily the genres are different enough that it makes it pretty easy to do.
Do you ever forget what style you're supposed to be playing with what band?
Oh yeah, that's the worst, man. Especially after a long set of gigs, and you're on hour 8 of gigging, and the guitar solo is going off and off and off, and you're just kind of cruising. There's a lot of times where I forget what song I'm playing and where to cue back in and what beat to go to, and it definitely happens a lot more often than you think.
In a time like this, I would think that to play in so many bands and play so often, you have to keep physically fit. You have to keep your chops up in order to do that.
Right.
And now with a little bit of a hiatus now, how are you maintaining? I know many bands in lockdown are not rehearsing.
Right.
I know many musicians are not keeping the knife blade very sharp. How are you keeping as fit and as on point as you normally are when we aren't in quarantine?
So staying fit, girlfriend brought me out with her personal trainer yesterday. My leg still hurt from that, so thank you, Charles, for kicking my butt. And beyond that, doing small little home workouts, staying active in the yard, still getting outside, getting that vitamin D and sunshine, riding my bike everywhere. So I can say bike riding is definitely one of the main ways I've been staying fit, going to and from work. And then beyond practicing, staying sharp on my chops, doing rudiments, not really jamming out or getting
So you are
crazy or
practicing
anything.
right now, because I would think that playing that often, maybe you didn't need to practice as much because you were always gigging, but are you going back to practice your rudiments is an interesting turn.
Bingo, yeah, definitely stepping back and just starting from the crawling steps again, Got to crawl before you walk, before you run. Sprinting for so long, it's definitely nice to pull it back and crawl a little bit and really work on those.
Have you found that this is a creative time for you?
Totally.
Okay.
And different forms of creativity.
Please, in what ways?
Where you get so used to playing in your bands and doing your genres and producing a certain sound, but then it's nice because now I'm taking a step back and truly listening to other artists' music and their albums. And I always had music playing, I always played music, but I never truly listened to it and like what they're trying to feed to their audience. So it's been nice taking that creative perspective on songs and on albums.
Now you mentioned the acts that you're playing with. Just to give them a rundown, can you name the acts? I don't know if you can remember them all, but
Right.
can you name I'll hold my hand up and you can name them off. What are the different bands that Kevin Greene plays with? In case people wanted to go online, look at your recordings, see
Right.
other live videos from the past, stay abreast of what's going on with the bands as this quarantine evolves. What bands are they?
So you guys can always follow me, Taco Verde on Instagram. My bands that I'm in, Run Raquel, Oklahoma Stackhouse, Jordan Foley in the Wheelhouse, Smash and Trash, Chi and Key, and then I drum for Johnny Morgan, and I also drum for Theo Moon. So 7 in all, 5 are my little babies.
So Kevin, there are talks that the touring music industry may not get back until after a quarantine or after a vaccine is created,
Right.
which could look anywhere between 12 and 18 months. How do you see after all this is new for everybody, how do you see the music industry evolving, or what does the future of the music industry look to Kevin Greene and your crystal ball?
I have no idea. I want to say it's going to be exciting. I don't want to say it's going to be scary, but thrilling, I think, is going to be a better word for it. It's going to be, of course, different. We're all doing it together. We're all doing it for the first time together, too. So I feel like the live music's going to be more appreciated once this is all over. For so long, people didn't realize how hard we worked and how much we put into our works, and how underappreciated we were and underpaid, and however you want to look at it. But I feel like once this is finally all over, it'll be a good thing for the artist community.
A little relief to get back to it.
Right.
Now, do you think, again, being a guy, the name of the show, Working Musicians, a guy that is quintessentially that, have you felt any loss of identity because you are so coupled with your, Orlando's favorite drummer, that type of thing? You're always gigging. So many people know you from that. Now you're gardening and, serving smoothies, or
Right.
But at the same time, do you feel any loss of identity in this new era?
Maybe just online identity. I mean, me personally, no. I know who I am. I know what I want to do and who I want to be. But I guess online it is, because I definitely get messages from friends and fans that are concerned and, oh my God, I hope you're doing okay, blah, blah, blah. And I feel bad answering back like, yeah, I'm fantastic. I'm enjoying this break. I'm enjoying the, time to recreate and recharge.
Sure.
And, so I've just kind of lost a social identity, if you want to call it that.
Okay.
But it doesn't bother me at all,
Well, and that's what, on the conception of this show, we didn't want it to be all gloom and doom with the quarantine sessions and, we're all in lockdown and we're all poor and we're all starving and we're all, our industry's gone. So, as a segue out, do you have any positive messages from Kevin Greene, Orlando's favorite drummer, to the world at large about what the future holds and what to stay in tune for?
So this is the time to find something new about yourself. Do something you've never done before. But beyond being a musician, I'm a gardener, I'm a cat dad. I could check a lot of boxes of what I do. This is your time to go out and check out those boxes and see what you like, what you dislike, what you're capable of doing. Push yourself to the limit. If you don't think you can do something, try it anyways.
What do you have to lose at this point, right?
Bingo, yeah. So tomorrow we can die from a flu, so go out today and get it.
The flu?
Not the flu, but your dreams.
Oh, your dreams. Go get your dreams. For Kevin Greene, I am John Thiessen, and this is Working Musicians. We will see you next time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and spread that good energy. We'll see you soon.
Cool, refreshing, yerba mate.